For some reason, I've gotten what's the word I want to use here? The reputation for knowing techie things. I have no clue how this rumor spread, but I would like to put a stop to that. And the whole reason I thought about this today is because I was driving home and I started thinking about some of the truly stupid stuff that I had done, technologically speaking. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I've done that's stupid, but with technology. And so I just wanted to talk about those and also talk about some of the things that I have been asked to do that one might consider techie. And I'm sure I'm going to get a ton of people telling me none of this is techie, but I don't even care. Okay. Anyway, one of the things was, it happened today actually. We have one of those standard office telephones. You can pick up everyone's line. There's all these buttons and things. I don't have any problem with the buttons. No, I had a problem with the actual phone itself. All right. The way we have it is we have it up on the wall. So it's kind of like, you remember, back in like the 50s and 60s, you used to have those like mustard colored phones and they're on the wall and you pick it up and the cord would be like 15 miles long and you could walk, across the street and you could still be on the phone. I'm going to get some sugar from the neighbor. Well, the problem with that is that it's a receiver you have to hang up on a vertical surface. Now I'm klutzy, all right? And every time I would go to hang up that phone, it would fall on the floor. So my smart idea was to move the whole phone onto the desk. It was like a big counter at my office. And so Sonia, one of the girls that I work with, she moved it. And I wasn't paying any attention to how she did it, but I just saw it was wham, bam, boom, done. So today, the guy that normally uses that office space came back and he was like, "What is going on? I want it back on the wall." I was like, "Hey, no problem. Go ahead, put it up there. It's not too difficult." So he's like, There's, like when you have a picture frame and you have that thing that's like this and it makes the picture frame stand up. Well, there's the same kind of thing on the back of the phone." And he's like, "How did she do this?" And I said, "I don't know." So I'm in there pushing and pulling. Meanwhile, I've knocked the receiver off. I'm dialing everyone, in the phone because I'm trying to figure this out. And finally, I just get frustrated. I'm like, you're just gonna have to live with it on the counter for the rest of your life. 5 minutes later, he's like, "Oh, I figured it out." What is it? There was a button, big old button, about yay big on the side of the phone. You just push it, slides right up, sit right on the wall. Okay? That's something anyone could figure out. I couldn't. Okay? Couldn't figure it out. Clearly, I am not a genius in these matters. Second thing happened. This is so embarrassing. And I knew when I did it that it was stupid. But I have an iPod. Most people do. And it's not locked because why do I want to spend the time putting in a password when I just want to slide the thing open and listen to music? Well, one day I thought it would be a good idea to put a password on. And you can guess what happened. Every time I tried to put my password in, it said it was incorrect. And I'm like, I know this is what I set it as. It was no good. I had to like go online. I had to look at ways to like reboot. I had to reboot my iPod because I couldn't remember my password. Actually, I think I'm pretty positive I knew the password. It's just that I must have like typed it in wrong when I set it up, and I just, point is that I was locked out of my own iPod for like a really long time. It took me forever to figure out how to fix the dang thing. So frustrating. On the flip side of that, for some reason, I'm seen as the person that can find the answers. And really what it is I just look for these answers. Anyone could look for answers and then put that information to knowledge. The problem is that people just don't want to look. They want someone to do that for them. For instance, this hasn't happened in a while, thank goodness, but I used to get phone calls pretty regularly. "Hey, um, I heard that you're really good with computers." And I'm like, "Well, it depends. What are we talking here?" Like, is your speaker not working? Turn it on. Uh, yeah, I need you to come over here. You have to come over to the computer. So I trot on over. Apparently, this is how I trot. Very jaunty. And do you know what they want? They want me to set up their streaming online radio. That's right. Google Play. And to them, oh, it's like I invented the internet. Guys, just use Google. It's not that hard. It's kind of sad that you don't know how to do that. It's really sad. Or there's certain things on Excel or in Word that you can do, like shortcuts and stuff. I figured that out by Googling it, and I just remembered it. That was pretty much it. I know I'm giving all my trade secrets out, but really, it's time you learned. You know who you are. And this one's probably my favorite. There's all these there's shortcuts on your keyboards like Control C, Control V, things like that. One of my personal favorites is toggling, Alt Tab, Alt Tab. So one time I was working on the computer and I was using all these shortcuts, things that I use all the time, and people were like, "What is this magic? Are you Merlin? What is going on?" And I was like, "No, they're shortcuts." People were pulling out notepads. Oh my God. And I'm like, "How long have you guys worked with computers? I mean, they've been out for a while now. These shortcuts have been out since pretty much always." I'm really concerned for you. Really concerned. But again, I'm not in any way technologically savvy. I just know where to find the information. Okay? Anyone can learn this stuff. Anyone. So in the future, when you want to ask me how to do something, please don't ask me something that's overly technical because, first of all, I'm not going to have a clue. Like, don't ask me how to rebuild your computer. I ain't going to know that. I ain't. And I ain't going to look that junk up for you either, okay? You better take that to the Geek Squad. What do I look like? A whole Geek Squad? No, I am not. On the flip side of that, something that's ridiculously easy, like changing the font in your Word. There's this little box at the top that says font. Just hit the drop down menu, okay? You don't need to call me for that. Use your minds. They're inside for a reason. Oh boy. Change my radio station. Get out of here.